Hey everyone, so we just reached 2 million subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for your support, and it was really cool the other day to do the live stream. And I thought to celebrate, maybe I could answer some of your questions, maybe take a few requests. Let's see what we've got here. Are you planning on doing a tour in Korea or Asia? There is a little bit of a loose plan right now to do some stuff in China, hopefully in September. Still very much in the early stages, so play Donna Lee blindfolded. Play the Super Mario theme with the bass and melody. Your course Mastering the Masters is awesome. I'm a bassist and I study music in a Greek university. Thank you. I did put a lot of effort into that course, so I'm glad that it's helping you out. I actually do have a sale going on right now for Mastering the Masters, so if you want to take your bass skills from intermediate to advanced as fast as possible, just tap the link below to get half off the course and I'll see you inside. Be happy. Ah yes, the toughest request of all. What is your favorite bass that you own? Well, that's actually quite an easy one. It's this thing, the Geschke CB4. This is my signature bass. Naturally, therefore, it's my favorite because I got to design it exactly the way that I want. You've probably heard me describe it quite a few times, but some of my favorite things are the deep cutaway and the awesome EMG pickups and just how thin the neck is. You can play really fast on it. And the CB6 is coming out on Monday. Give me the hardest possible thing to play on bass, get noticed by a regular audience of non-musicians. Yeah, that's pretty tough. How often do you replace strings on your basses? Ideally, I try to do it about once a week on each bass, but sometimes I go through phases where it's not quite that often. While I was on tour, it was actually every third show, which ended up being around every 3 days. Radiohead or Arctic Monkeys? I'm gonna go with Radiohead. Seinfeld. All right, here we go. I'll play Seinfeld for you. Wonderwall, already did that one. What's the purpose of life? To play bass. Hey, I'm confused. Should I buy a 4 or 5 string bass? I'm a beginner. I would always recommend starting with a 4 string bass just because it's a little bit easier to play. The neck is thinner. The B string, while it is really cool to have that on a 5 string, it's not needed for sort of 80% of bass lines, I would say. So just the fact that it's easier, you're gonna pick it up more quickly. I would say a 4 string, and it's also usually slightly cheaper. What's the most versatile bass you have? Well, again, I'd probably go with my signature, but maybe the CB6 because it's a 6 string, which gives you the low and the high options, but you can play any style you want on either of my signatures. Go 30 seconds without saying you went to Berkeley. Well, that's easy. On stage with Cliff Burton or Jaco Pastorius? I would probably go with Cliff just because I'm a massive Metallica fan. Obviously, I love Jaco. He's an awesome, amazing bassist, but Metallica really have a special place in my heart. They're one of the first bands that I really truly fell in love with, so I'm gonna go with Cliff. Also, I went to Berkeley. Oh, damn it. Another one bites the dust in 1532. All right, let's try this. Give me the hardest possible bass challenge, getting heard in the mix. Yeah, unfortunately it is pretty common for bassists to get buried in the mix. We often call that getting lased. Make it sound like a violin. Already done that. Play a simple bass line without making it overkill. All right. How old were you when you first started to play? So I started bass when I was 11. I actually started piano when I was 7. But when I was 11, I started to really get into rock and metal. You know, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Foo Fighters, Muse, Green Day, Chili Peppers. There's not as much piano in those bands, and I really wanted to play that kind of music. So I decided to play bass. No one else at my school played bass. It was all guitarists, drummers, and singers. I just wanted to be different, really, and so I decided to play bass. Will you ever do a tour in the US? Cough, Colorado. Yeah, there are some plans to do a tour in the US next year. Nothing really that concrete yet. Can you share a photo or brief rundown of your typical live signal chain and or pedal board? I actually did a live rig rundown with Tommen, and I'm gonna put a link for that in the description. Play bass with a guitar. Okay, this could be interesting. I'll just go get the short scale piccolo bass. Make guitarists understand how important bassists are. That's basically half the reason I did the tour with Burnt, but I think finally now he understands. Will there be any tour dates with Burnt in the New England area? Well, I'd say the closest to that is probably the one we have in Carnegie Hall, which is on March 22nd. Technically Zankel Hall at Carnegie Hall. Would you rather fight one horse-sized rat or 1,000 rat-sized horses? Okay, wow, this is probably the most important question so far. I think I would go with 1,000 rat-sized horses, because one horse-sized rat sounds absolutely terrifying, and it's just going to be a pretty big mismatch of strength and size. 1,000 rat-sized horses, I might be able to kind of take them one by one, maybe like kick them. I might also be able to just run away because they're pretty small. I think I could probably outrun them. How do you slap so fast? Well, it really comes down to having a lot of different articulations at your disposal. So obviously you've got like slap, pop, but then you've also got double pop. You've got left hand slap. You've got hammer-ons, pull-offs. And if you can kind of master all of these different articulations and be able to use them whenever you want, you can play really fast slap without having to put too much effort in. So for example, in this slap bass line I use hammer-ons, pull-offs, left hand slaps, normal slaps, pops. There's a lot of different things going on so that I can play it pretty fast. What song can't you play? I've never been the best at jazz improvisation. When I went to Berkeley, there were some students there who've been playing jazz since they were like 2 years old. They could just listen to any jazz standard for the first time, maybe see some chord charts, and just be able to improvise amazing sounding solos on the spot. That's just something I haven't really been able to master. I don't know if it's because I didn't really grow up with jazz, so I just don't really have that vocabulary deep in my DNA. How important is it to be proficient at traditional bass before I try slap? This is an interesting question because most people start off with fingerstyle and then do slap a little bit later on. Fingerstyle is definitely the most common bass technique. It's probably used on about 80 or 90% of bass lines. So I'd highly recommend learning fingerstyle at some point. But I do think the most important thing when you're first starting with bass is to really enjoy it, develop a passion for it. If you don't develop a passion early on, you're probably gonna get bored and burn out quite quickly. I would say just go for it for a while, but if you wanna really play in a lot of bands or maybe even become professional, you should really make sure that you learn fingerstyle at some point. Was there any point in your life where you almost gave up on playing because you felt like you were failing or you didn't feel passionate about it? Was there any point you spent an extended period of time away from playing because you were discouraged? I mean, there's definitely been periods, where I've been feeling less passionate than I have previously. It's been quite a while since I spent an extended period of time away from playing bass. I think the last time that happened was probably when I was about 15 or 16 or something. Even though my kind of professional career has definitely had slow periods or even periods where I couldn't see how it was ever gonna progress or succeed, I've never really found that discourages me too much from actually playing the instrument itself. Usually when those types of things happen, I find that playing bass, practicing, or getting on stage, those are the kinds of things that just give me motivation intrinsically. And so even if no one's paying any attention, I still find that just playing bass just for myself and just enjoying the music actually really helps. Play Rush E. All right, here you go. you actually friends with any of the content creators you collab with, or is it more of a business dealing? Yeah, it's all business, I just don't care about any of this stuff. Okay, no, obviously I'm joking. Some of them I'm good friends with, like Burnt and I have collabed a lot, and so now we're friends. One thing that's quite funny that a lot of people don't know is that some of the guys I've collabed with I've never actually met in real life. Davey is one of those people, Ichika as well. I've never met either of them in real life, but we've done a few collabs together. I still wouldn't say it's just a business dealing, as you put it. I mean, it was more about just creating some really cool music together. Hotel California, no, see, I don't want my YouTube channel to get shut down, so I'm not gonna be able to do Hotel California for you. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe we actually hit 2 million subscribers. This is absolutely crazy, and it's all because you guys keep watching my videos and supporting the channel. And thank you all for sticking with me through this crazy journey. I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon, so hopefully you'll join me for the ride. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.